At this point, everybody should be aware of how to start a new project on GarageBand. If not, refer to the video, it's pretty easy. So what I've done is I've started kind of building a radio play based on the script that I already had downloaded into what we call GarageBand. Now, GarageBand here, I have got it set up so that I have recorded my narrator voice all the way across the top. And just to kind of show you what that is here,
I have been living with my aunt in this large, old manor home for 6 weeks.
Okay, so you remember this one, I am sure. So, here's where I've recorded everything. You'll see that I have split some of this up. I just recorded all of the narrator part all at once, and I split it up to where I am going to put some sound effects when needed. As I was reading, I did do some pausing in there, so I may or may not have to do that as much. Here at the next one, what I did is I brought in a soundscape, which was some scary sounds. And it's got wind blowing and howling and such like that to kind of create the mood there. So that's what I did with it. Now, I placed it there, and you'll see that up underneath it here, I have split it off there. And the reason I did that is because so that I can change the volume levels here towards my liking. And at this point, I needed to bring it down, so we're just going to bring it down just a touch so that we'll keep it in the background, but it's not doing anything. And of course, it's just a matter of splitting it and dragging it into another layer. You make your layers over with this little plus here on the side. So what I've done now is I've had all of this started going here. You'll see that I've added a few things in here, like a board creaking that I downloaded, and I have my other things over here, narrators, that's me continuing everything. So what I'm going to do now is show you how that I put a sound effect into what is going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to start, and I'm going to press the little plus down here to start me a new track here. And you're going to see that these little things come up here, and I'm going to drag it all the way across here until I get the little microphone for vocal stuff, the audio recorder, and we're going to hit voice over here. Now, this is fine. I can change it if I'd like to. I can make it a chorus or have everything else that I need in here. So right now I'm just going to keep it on lead vocals because it does just fine for me, and I'm going to hit done. I'm going to hit these little things that look like a brick right here and take me back to the layering here so that we can do this, and we're just going to go ahead and play from here so that we can add another sound effect. I need to go to the next place, so we're going to start here, and I'll hit play.
Sneak my way down the hallway on the second story. I open the drawer up to the stairs credenza.
Alright, so I'm going to have to open the drawer up. So in order to open the drawer up, the first thing that I have to do is give myself a little space, because if you'll look right here, I've got some more vocals coming up here pretty quick in my narration, so I'm just going to touch it real quick. And I'm going to go over here, I'm going to double tap it, and then it's going to go to split. So I split it, and you'll see that the little scissor marks come up right here. Now if I take that and push it down, it's going to cut it right there so that I can drag this piece over where I need it. So now I'm just going to keep a space in there, and we're going to go back here to this last little track that we made. If I can get it to actually do something here. And I'm going to take and then go over here to where it says files. Now what I've done is I've taken and downloaded the files that I need to onto my iPad. So I'm going to browse the files here with this little button here, and you're going to see that on my iPad I have some files already done, and you'll see this one says drawer opening. So I'm going to hit the drawer opening sound here, and it should come up right there into my files. And then I'm going to take and drag it over to here. Now we need to make sure that the volume is up so that I can hear it, and you'll see that my playhead is still here. I'm going to move it over to where my playhead is, and then we're going to drag this back a little bit to listen to it to see if it's the right level. So
I open the drawer up to the stairs credenza.
that sounded pretty good. So to the stairs credenza, and it opens up, and then there's dead space. To alleviate this dead space, I'm going to move my narration back to here so that when it opens up, I should be able to keep speaking now. So let's play it in here.
To the stairs credenza, and took out a box of matches. I struck a match.
All right, I struck a match. The same thing's going to apply. I'm going to take and double tap on here. We're going to hit split. I'm going to move my little scissor marks down. And now it's time for me to add another one to this here. So what I'm going to do is create me another layer. Once again, voice. We're going to hit lead vocals and keep it as there. And once we do that, I'm going to flip it over, and you'll see that it is now down here. I'm going to hit my loops, and I'm going to browse once again, and I'm going to come up to having lighting match, which is right here. So we're going to light the match, wait for it to appear up in here. There it goes. And then I'm just going to drag it in to where I want it. I'm going to move it over just a touch here. So now we'll go ahead and push this back over here.
I struck a match.
And there it goes. Now, I feel like that needed to be just a little bit louder, so I'm going to move that one all the way up so it can be a little bit louder. So we'll try it again.
I struck a match.
Good. Now, I just need to tighten up the dialogue here so that I can move everything over here. So we'll go and make sure that that works fine
Struck
again.
a match. And lit a candle that was sitting nearby.
I feel like I can overlap it even a little bit, so I'm going to overlap it a little bit. Let's see how that works out.
I struck a match. And lit a candle that was sitting nearby.
I think that works out pretty well. Now, the main thing is, as I go through all this, I have to make sure that I have readily prepared myself, which means that I have gone back and on my iPad, under Files here, for my iPad, I have taken and gotten all of my sounds put out there so that I can see them. So I've got my owl screeching, my boards creaking, my drawer slides, large thumps, sliding foot steps, and such like that. I can either make these sounds myself, or I can download them from the web. These were downloaded from the web, except for my voice, of course. It's what you do with it. It just takes a little bit of time and preparation. You were supposed to have 2 weeks to prep all this, so preparation was something that you were supposed to be doing through with your script as well as your sound effects. So it took me every bit of 20 minutes to pull the sound effects off. That would have been one day. And then, of course, just making the thing takes a little bit of time, probably going to take an hour to make all this work. So I'll give you a copy of what I've done so far, and we'll see how it goes.